Hello, everybody. This is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor here at the 2023 IADC Annual General Meeting in Austin, Texas. And with me right now is Jacob Bruster of Unit Drilling. We're going to be speaking with him in his capacity as chair of the IADC Permian Basin chapter. The chapter gave out some awards here at the Annual General Meeting, and we're going to talk a little bit about what the chapter's been doing, all the cool stuff that's going on, stuff that you guys need to know. So, Jacob, thank you so much for joining me today.
Steve, I really appreciate it, man. Anytime I can come on and get some word of what the chapter's doing out there, I love it.
So, Jacob, let's talk a little bit about what the chapter is doing. You guys had some awards out here. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, 2022, we started our Permian Basin Chapter Service Company of the Year Award. And how that got started was we had such overwhelming support from numerous service companies and drilling contractors in the Midland, Odessa area. But we had a couple, especially last year, that kind of showed up and showed out for us, and just weekly they were asking, what do you need? What can we do? Do you need sponsorships? Do you need people? And last year that was Wildcat Oil Tools, and so we wanted to honor them in some way. So at a regional forum last year, we got them some plaques, got them, recognize them a little bit. And it just goes such a long way into maintaining these relationships that drilling contractors need to have with their service companies. And so this year, that company, it was a no-brainer. It was a anonymous vote as far as officers are concerned, when we're like, who is our service company of the year? And it was Canrig, hands down. Jason Gunderson, Brad Bettis, Toby Flood, John Handy, all those guys weekly were just reaching out, asking whatever they can do. And this is just our way to show some appreciation for that, recognize him on a stage at the AGM with offshore, onshore, all the service company peers from, really around the world too, because it's just a great way to honor these guys and their companies who contribute and go above and beyond for the chapter.
So one of the things with the chapter, I know, we did a perspectives piece with Barrett Susskind, who's also with the chapter earlier this year, and he talked about how big service was with Permian Basin chapter, particularly like outreach, people in the region, connecting people to companies, things like that. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the things that the chapter has been doing over the past year or so to kind of help in that aim?
Yeah, so first off, the piece you guys done on Barrett was amazing. He deserves that recognition. He's one of the hardest workers I know as far as guys out in Midland. He's great. So some of the things he was talking about, this past year specifically, we started an SSE of the Month program. So we work with the drilling contractors in the Permian Basin. We go through their superintendents, they get with their rig managers, and they identify a single, which is really difficult, they've found out, because there's a lot of good ones, identifying a short service employee, so has worked for them less than 6 months, that's really bought in to their whole culture, whether that's safety or work ethic or whatever, just kids that have really stepped up, or not just kids, young, new employees, short service employees that have stepped up and just shown that they want to make the most of this career. And it has been met with overwhelming support from both the drilling contractor side, the service company side, and even the operator side. As soon as these drilling contractors reach out to their operators and say, hey, the regional Permian chapter is coming out to recognize one of our guys, they kind of roll out the red carpet, right? They shut the rig down for an hour. We do cookouts. We bring out a bunch of swag for the rest of the crew members. And fortunately, because of the events that we do throughout the year, we're able to write these guys a $1,000 check. And we just all remember when we were starting out in the industry, paycheck to paycheck or less sometimes, just a way for us to give back to these short service guys. And we want to show them what our industry is about. Like, we want to take care of each other. We want to teach them about the IADC too, because a lot of these guys that have been here for 2 or 3 months have no clue what the IADC is. It gives us a chance to plant that seed in these up and coming generations.
Well, we thank you for your kind words about our piece on Barrett Susskind, and it sounds like what you guys are doing with the short service employees, that sounds like very important work out there in the region. So you guys have been doing a lot. What's next? We're coming up on the end of the year as we film this, so looking ahead, what do you guys have up on the docket?
Oh, man. So the next thing we have, it's November, middle of November almost. We have a December chapter meeting. We're going to vote on some chapter business. I think the biggest thing that we're going to talk about at that meeting, that it was a big topic here, We officially have an IADC student chapter at Texas Tech, working with the AADE student section jointly with the student faculty, the student activities division at Texas Tech. It's something that's been a long time coming. We've been trying to get an IADC chapter out there for a while, and it's just a matter of finding the right students, the right faculty, and they are 100% on board. We have 8 Texas Tech students with us here, and whenever they were posed with the question, hey, do you guys want to come to this IADC conference? It was, again, a resounding yes, and it was just a matter of, the IADC Permian chapter, we wanted to help them out. The IADC headquarters, they're sponsoring a couple of kids, and I think the biggest thing going into 2024 is being honored to support those Texas Tech students and bring them out to our drilling rigs, introduce them to our customers, introduce them to our presidents and CEOs and our engineering bosses, and allow them to come to our rigs really whenever they want. I mean, we are going to be able to provide for those kids, hopefully, internship possibilities, scholarship opportunities. It's super exciting, and that's probably the biggest thing going in 24.
Oh, it's cool to see all the Texas Tech students out here asking questions and seeing everybody out here. So thank you so much for letting us know about everything going on in the chapter and for all the stuff that you guys have been doing out there. It sounds really cool. It's going to be really cool to see how these things go forward. So thanks again.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it. And anytime I can talk about my guys too, we have our officers and our volunteers in the chapter. We've got Striker Directional, we've got Ulterra, we have Can Rig, of course, Southwest Oilfield Products, TSC Drill Pipe, Wildcat. I'm sorry if I'm missing some of these guys, but there are so many people. H&P, also is on our board too. There are so many people that whenever I got these guys together and said, hey, this is our goal for this chapter, unlimited support. So it's anytime I can give a shout out to those guys and those companies, I'd take that opportunity.
If you missed any of those companies, they know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are, yeah.
Well, Jacob, thanks again for taking the time.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it, Stephen.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.